ප්‍රවීණත්වයෙන් නවීනත්වයට GFU ශ්‍රී ලංකා.
Funds that is now being made by the Ceylon Social Service League focuses attention on one of the main activities of this league, which is the maintenance of the Malika Kanda creche, where on an average 40 children are looked after every day while their mothers are away at work. Early in the day, the kids get a drink of orange and barley, which gives them the energy for the physical jerks. After the children are bathed and clothed, they have more exercise romping about on the lawn. The toddlers prefer to keep to their cots, amusing themselves with their toys. By the way, if you have any toys that your child has outgrown, this is where they will be most welcome. The infants are given a feed of milk. And if this kid's expression is anything to go by, the authorities need have no fears as to its quality. The assistant matron, who is in charge of the kindergarten, summons her pupils to the class. After the fun and games in the open air, a classroom is not what one would call exciting. But this teacher knows how to rope the little fellows in and also keep them interested in what's being taught. Picasso himself is nothing of this young fellow in a matter of boldness of line and complete disregard for form. Classroom instruction could be a bore, but here we find a lively and sustained interest in it. These bright young lads and lassies certainly know all the answers. Even if they may not always be the right ones, they show no lack of confidence in giving them. Soap and water and bibs herald Lanka, which is certainly popular at this creche, and no wonder. The meal consists of rice, fish or meat, plenty of malung and dal, with a spoonful of cod liver oil to those who need it. The convalescents are given a special diet, prescribed by a doctor who visits the creche regularly every week. The running of this creche requires 10,000 rupees annually, and any contribution you can make towards it will be money spent on a thoroughly deserving cause. And now for a change, let's all go to the dogs. The 53rd Annual Kennel Club show was held at Victoria Park. Mr. Alexander Dalzell, an international judge, shouldered the heavy responsibility of judging the exhibits. He chats to the Countess of Caithness and Lady Olivier, who distributed the prizes. Mr. Eliezer of Virthalau was the proud owner of the best litter of puppies at the show. This fine imported Airedale is West Joseph. This good-looking and high-spirited Alsatian might have scored heavily but for his extremely bad manners. These French poodles showed off the latest in canine hairstyles, the Dutch clip and the lion clip. This pair of French bulldogs was exhibited by Miss Creighton Stewart. This is the best Great Dane on show, Ace Royal of renown, making a polite remark to a Dachshund from a great height. These chaps are ear specialists, a Swiss and American cropped ear boxer and a boxer with natural ears. Finding the winner in a crowd of champs is no easy task. This is Lebroy's smooth fox terrier, Twinkle. The best puppy of the show, owned by Mrs. Blacker. And we have the best exhibit, the fox terrier Twinkle, and the best opposite sex, the greyhound, Mr. Bandaranaike's Farmer Rex. The epoch-making and stupendous undertaking known as the Galloir scheme is fast taking shape. Generally speaking, the scheme consists of a main dam and a spillway dam, which will create a reservoir 38 square miles in extent, roughly over 30 times the size of Colombo Harbour. The waters of the reservoir will irrigate 100,000 acres of land, which are now covered with thick jungle. The work of construction is in full swing. Every conceivable type of mechanical aid has been pressed into service in order to complete this gigantic scheme with the least possible delay. Though unwieldy in appearance, these enormous machines show almost human sagacity in achieving feats of strength and skill surpassing those which legend attributes to the giants of old. This amazingly efficient giant among machines, the stone crusher, reduces rocks to rubble in a matter of seconds. Huge boulders and tiny pebbles are alike crushed and conveyed in one single operation for the making of concrete, vast quantities of which are required for the extensive construction work involved. The rubble is graded in heaps before it is used in the making of concrete. This spillway dam is nearing completion, and this panoramic view conveys some idea of its vastness. A network of steel rods is thrown in to reinforce the concrete. This gigantic structure is the sluice. The large cylindrical structures in the foreground are known as pentstocks. They pass right through the main dam and will, in the completed scheme, convey water from the reservoir for irrigation purposes. This great project will not only place at the disposal of the country many thousands of acres of fertile lands for purposes of cultivation, but will also bring into being a vast army of highly skilled Ceylonese workers who will undoubtedly contribute largely towards the country's technical advance. There is triumph in the tense, weather-beaten faces of drivers, drillers, and others working under hazardous conditions. A triumph which proves that all they lacked in the past was opportunity. Steady progress is being made in the clearing of jungle in the area which is to be cultivated. In the next 10 years, about 200,000 acres will be cleared. This new method of clearing with a heavy chain, similar to ones with which large ocean-going liners are moored, is a definite improvement on anything that has been used before. The chain used is about 220 feet long, and it weighs about 20 tons. 4 tractors pull the chain, 2 at each end. A 5th tractor follows the chain to help push over large trees. This very energetic tractor is rightly known as the scrum half. You will agree that this is the right name for it when you have seen it in action. Well, here goes the tractor and over goes the tree. Every bit of jungle that is cleared will yield a rich harvest of sorely needed grain. The most vital task before the country today is to make itself self-supporting in the matter of food. This is a formidable task, because centuries of neglect has destroyed the ancient system of irrigation on which the island's economy was based. Galloir is only one chapter, though an important one in the work of reconstruction that is going on. With their successful completion, there is every hope that the country will achieve an increased measure of security and prosperity and find itself once more the granary of the East.